There we go. There I am now.
There you are. Well done. Nice.
Hey,
Hi.
hey. Hi.
Is this your studio? What's this?
This is my bedroom in my apartment. That is kind
Lovely.
of my writing room, and
Cool.
I can record. I can record vocals and some guitar stuff and MIDI things and do that. And then I have to go into a proper studio. But this is
Yeah,
it.
really. This is the study that we have in our apartment that I share with my partner who works like a desk job. So we have like one 2-meter desk that I'm currently sitting on, and I'm on the right side and he's on the left. And I was using it as sort of like my default recording space. Not for, the songs I sent you for the album songs, they were done in a proper studio and stuff like that, but just with the stuff that I've been making lately. And because he has a mechanical keyboard, every time I record a vocal and I'm sitting next to him, all of my vocals have the tippy tappy of this mechanical keyboard in the background. And like, some people are like, oh, does that annoy you? But every time I listen to it, I'm kind of like, no, it's kind of cool.
I've done some here where in between some of the bits you can hear a siren going.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, living in New York
Yes.
City. Yeah, I just wanted to do the Zoom chat because I don't know, we've only been like talking on email so far, and I just wanted to say hi properly. Though I haven't told you this yet, but we met really briefly years and years and years ago, like 2014, when I was still a little baby, because you were getting a tour of the Triple J Like a Version studio. You were getting a tour of the Triple J studios, and I was doing Like a Version that day. And I don't know if you know what Like a Version is, but it's just like this sort of like weekly moment where an artist comes in and covers a song, and it's put on YouTube and it's played on the radio and people enjoy it. But I was just doing.
You're covering somebody else's song now.
I was doing Chandelier by Sia. Yeah.
Bold choice.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was a very bold choice. I, to this day don't know if when I was 18 had like the persistent tendency of like really trying to sing out of my range, like really stretching it as far as I possibly could. And
that's one for doing it.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, we like shook hands and you were just like hi, and I was like hi, and then you went on your way and was it. And yeah. But and now we're working on a song together, which is really cool.
Yes. Now we've worked on some songs together, which is really nice. It was what a nice surprise. What a nice surprise to get I guess it was from your management or somebody.
So how it went was the guy I was working with on the album, the producer Dave Hammer, his manager basically tried to get your email, or someone who was in contact with your email. I even just I felt a little cheeky, sending an email directly to this email that was given to us. But anyway, someone gave an email to us, and my management was just like, just send a message and see if anything comes of it. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I've been doing this recently with like anyone that I've wanted to work with. And I enjoy collaborating and I enjoy sharing. And I just sent off the email, and I was so shocked that you replied within like the half a day or whatever it was, like overnight Sydney or whatever. I was very grateful and very pleased as well. I was as surprised as you were. And
I think I replied. I was right in the middle of this Broadway show, kind of going into rehearsals and all this kind of stuff, and so I think I might have said, listen, I'm kind of I've got a very full plate at the moment, but if you can wait just a few weeks, I'll have a chance to listen and then get back to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did. And
yeah, you did.
I really loved the songs.
Which I'm so stoked about. It just feels like, because your work has been so influential to me for since I was 18 or whatever, and to have like your tick of approval is so nice. It's very encouraging, and I've been doing my career now for like 8 or so years or whatever, so I'm not like down on myself about my music, but it's still always nice to hear someone that like you really respect and admire be like, this is good.
It happens to me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Who gives you that feeling?
Wow.
Probably a lot of people. I don't know. For me, it's a lot of
No,
people.
no, no.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really surprising. There's a comedian here named Chris Rock,
Yeah.
and he seems to really like my music. And I thought that's kind of a surprise to me. It's really nice. It's really nice.
Sweet. That is really
Yeah,
lovely. Oh
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Whenever it's yeah, I'm a huge fan of comedy as well, and the people. I'm kind of well. So we've mentioned Daniel Kitson in the song that we worked on together, "Always Be You," and I'm gonna send him the song because he has. I don't know if you follow his newsletter. He's got like an email newsletter that's pretty fun. He hasn't updated it for a while actually, but he was also doing a
No,
radio show.
I don't follow his newsletter stuff, but we have corresponded.
Oh, cute! Did you
Yeah, because
tell me? I don't know. Maybe you didn't.
no, I don't know if I told you. I did a thing in London called Meltdown some years ago, where they invite an artist to kind of curate a short festival that runs maybe 2 weeks or something like that at the South Bank Center. It's a really good thing. So the artist kind of suggests people and has ideas and this and that, and they kind of do all the legwork, which is really nice. And I wanted to mix some kind of theater and stand up and music and I wanted to put them all in the same lineup, in the same series of shows. And one of the people I wanted to get was Daniel Kitson, because I thought, okay, they can get him in there. It doesn't require a big set or a huge number of actors. But yeah, I think music fans who might not know him, and there are some, I thought might really like this. But he was kind of right in the middle of stuff, right in the middle of a lot of things, and he couldn't do it.
Right.
But we corresponded for a while.
That's nice. He's a really nice fellow. That's really cool. Unfortunate that it couldn't go ahead, but who knows? Maybe again in the future. Yeah, I'll definitely send him this and be like, hope you like it.
Yes.
Yeah, hope you like approve of this thing that you have like not. No, you never asked to be written to a song, and now you have been, and I hope it's okay.
I'm sure it's okay. I'm sure he's going to ask, what was it that I said?
Yeah. I'm sure he will.
What was it that I said? What did I say? I say a lot of things. What was it? Yeah.
I think, okay, for context, for anyone who might watch this, is like, every day we decide to be together, about the point that Daniel Kitson made. And it's from this like show from like 2000 and something, like before 2010, I think. And it's very, there's a lot of detail to the piece that he does. It's a longish show, but he's sort of telling these stories and starts talking about like a relationship between two people. And honestly, I don't remember exactly what the vibe was or what the lines were, but I do remember some of the takeaway was just that like it's kind of a miracle that anyone makes a relationship work, because it's like every person is so different and has different insecurities and needs and ways of soothing those things that they may or may not expect from other people, and the fact that any two people can come together and actually like slot into those things and negotiate it day after day and make it work is kind of incredible, which is sort of the vibe of the song is like, man, sometimes we have some really hard things to deal with, but ultimately like we can communicate through these things, which is a miracle, and we make it work, and it's really lovely.
And he makes those points in a way that's really funny.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
Your songs appear, at least, to be about your own life, your life with your partner, your true feelings, which is incredibly brave. But it also made it really easy for me to collaborate.
Okay, why is that?
When I looked at what you'd written, I thought, oh, I know this feeling. I know this. I think if we can admit it, we've all felt these things. And so I thought, I can just write as if it's happening to me, because I've experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
Which made it very easy because you'd already set the whatever the template there, and I thought, okay, you may have been writing about your own life, but it applies to other people as well.
For sure. Definitely like a universal feeling. Yeah. I feel I don't know. I think in my work, in my music, I'm definitely a huge oversharer. Well, not an oversharer. It's very autobiographical. I think in my personal life, definitely used to be a huge oversharer. Now I'm a bit more measured with things, and I try to inject it into the music in a way that's hopefully like, not too no, you're like, I think I'm deft enough with the way I convey these things.
All right. So
Yeah.
people don't come up to you and act like they know all about your personal life.
Well, actually, weirdly, no. I don't have that many people who assume they know me from my music. I don't think. I don't know. The issue is I haven't like really been out in the world for the last 2 years, as none of us have. So like you don't really get people approaching you anymore. But which is fine and safe. I don't know why, but I've always been quite okay with like sharing things about my personal life. Well, I could hypothesize probably, but it's like stuff I can't mega talk about in public. But it's I think like I was encouraged to keep secrets when I was young, and instead of doing that, I decided to completely rebel and do the antithesis of that and just tell everyone everything about me, for better or for worse. Yeah.
Well, it's worked out really well.
Yeah. I've done like a few performances that have required choreography in the last couple of years. And I've always watched what you do in American Utopia, Stop Making Sense, any of your performances, and been like, that's what I want to do. But every time, I work with a choreographer, I don't know, I sort of just send them the reference, but I don't know how to actually like in words describe the style or the sort of disposition or energy of the movement that you work with. And I was wondering how you would describe it.
I do work with a choreographer, and sometimes she gives me specific things to do. But they're all a little bit quirky and odd, so they sort of fit with what I do. And then I'll do something, I'll improvise something or come up with something, and she will tell me, oh, that's good, you should keep that, or do that. And rehearsing Stop Making Sense, I would just improvise all this movement and all these different things. And sometimes I'd videotape them, and I was a little less squeamish about watching myself on video in those days. And I watched, and I would just pick it out and go, oh, that bit is good. That's the movement that feels like it really emerges out of the music. It feels like that's a musical, that's a movement interpretation of the music, or it really seems like it came out of that rather than being imposed on it.
Got you.
It was coming from me and not being imposed by somebody else. And then gradually I got, I talked with this person, Annie B, and said, we sort of see eye to eye on a lot of that stuff. And there are some people who can work. I don't know what your background is, but who can work with non-dancers, which is me. I mean, I have my own kind of movement, but I'm not trained.
Yeah.
So there's certain things I can do, and there's certain things I can't do. If you're thinking about that, have you seen other people whose movement you go, oh, that's got something I can kind of connect with?
The other person for me would be like Mitski on her last tour, Be the Cowboy. I don't know if you saw it, but
I did. And I was just going to say, have you seen Mitski?
Yeah, of course. I think that is the thing. It almost feels like sign language, in that the movements aren't, they don't feel necessarily trained, but they feel true. Like they feel like you said, honest to the music, like a natural extension of the music. I always see that stuff and I'm like, okay, that's how I feel, and that's how I feel about my music, and that's what I want to do with my music. I just like, I have a very distractible brain. I'm not a good systems thinker. I don't think I'm not good at like planning and organizing and putting things in order. So even if I do like, I'm like, oh, I have a move that I like that I would like to do on stage. I'm not the kind of person who's good at being like, I will film this and I will make sure I do it in every single like beat that I've plotted it for, which is, you know, something I should just work on, because if I do want to achieve it, I should just be putting the work in. I think my brain struggles to actually like wrangle all those ideas. But I think so when I look at the style of movement, the thing that I most identify in it, and this is not meant to be a sledge at all, because again, this is how I feel about me, is it feels very unsexy. I don't know if that's
You mean your own
no,
movement?
like when I watch like the American Utopia or the Mitski dancing, it's very like, yes.
Yeah, it's not, yes, it's not the kind of typical, whatever, choreographed music video dancing that is with a lot of hips and a lot of other stuff going on.
Yeah, that's
and I just thought, well, I can't do that really anyway. So I just thought I'll have to come up with my own thing. And I realized that, yes, in some ways it's not sexy the way that stuff is sexy. But it feels honest. It feels honest to me. And my partner doesn't mind it.
It feels very much like it comes from a place that almost doesn't think about sexuality. That sounds like kind of a weird thing to say, but like I feel like a lot of my music is quite neurotic and what's the word? Like, it's not contemplating the idea of sex in any way. And which, you know, to me, I've always felt like a bit of an outsider, because I do make pop music, and the world of pop is very, you know, saturated with these ideas, which is totally fine. And I love that music, and people should absolutely, you know, be talking about the things that they care about, which is that stuff. But it has always made me feel like quite outside of, I don't know, a scene, a culture, as something. So I really like, that's why I really like, you know, your music, because like it does feel like it kind of feels like it's for nerds, and I'm a nerd, and you know, if you don't feel that way, I'm so sorry, but but it very much feels like it was just I don't know it. And again, it's not without like it, I've just always felt so seen by it, because it feels curious and in wonderment, which are the things I think that I wish to pursue. It's very nice.
That sounds good to me.
Good.
I will say that yes, I've always been attracted to music that's danceable.
Yeah.
So it connects to the body.
Yes.
There's a body connection. No matter what kind of conceptual or ideas I'm kind of spouting in the lyrics.
Yeah.
There's a real body connection in the music. And I feel like that kind of pulls those things together.
Yeah.
And it's not in the kind of typical way where I'm not always talking about bodily things or bodily functions or whatever, but it's there. It's there. Absolutely. In the music.
Well, hey, thank you so much for doing this with me, and for, you know, being such a good sport and being in the video and stuff. Have you seen the final cut of the video yet?
Have I?
Maybe not.
I got sent it, but I was to be honest, a little self-conscious about looking at myself.
That's okay.
Yeah, and your folks were kind of are you okay with how your bits came out? And I thought, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
Honestly, I'll let you know, it looks amazing. It's like,
oh, good.
Yeah, you look great. I really loved when you were doing like these ones. That was super good. Yeah, and the nodding on the bike as well, super good. Loved it. Yeah, thank you.
So what are your plans? Are you able to tour in Australia?
I have some shows coming up this month. I'm doing like a small East Coast tour, which in Australia just means Sydney and Melbourne. And then I have a few festivals and stuff.
Okay, so no Brisbane.
Yeah, no Brisbane. It's kind of tricky
Canberra.
with COVID stuff. Oh, there is going to be a Queanbeyan show, but yeah, with COVID stuff, it's a bit tricky because like all the venue capacities are reduced, and then the borders for each state are kind of all different. Like no one's still allowed in Western Australia if you're not already in Western Australia.
Oh, so yeah, Perth is kind of closed off then.
Yeah, and yeah, just like feasibility as well at this point. Like, you know, it's 2 years of no gigs for me. It's just been, you know, have to sort of pick my battles. But yeah, I've got some shows coming up, and you know, there'll be more later in the year as I release more music and stuff. But we're going to be touring sort of this next single, and yeah, it's exciting.
Good. That's encouraging. I hope you get here. Okay, then.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for being here and making time for this.
Yeah. We'll connect again, I'm sure.
Absolutely.